What is up, guys? What is up? I'm back at this very FUBAR chiller setup that's just old and decrepit. And we're doing something like impossible tasks of trying to cap off this abandoned section of closed loop that was leaking. And a couple weeks ago I put some plugs in here and it worked, and then it blew out yesterday. Oh, and that chiller's having to start now. And then since yesterday it blew out the other plug. So I came back today. I know these plugs are like test plugs for plumbing and they're not really for pressure, but I figured this is only going to be like 25 psi or so on the closed loop, but it pushed out. So I modified both of these test plugs. Took off the end, I put some fat ass washers on there. I put a long bolt on it and then put another washer back in here. Trapped between two nuts, that way it can't turn. It'll keep it straight. And then the rubber plugs right here expanded with a nut, and I put some spacer, and then I drilled a hole and put this bolt right through here. Boom. So yeah, I mean, it ain't gonna push the plug out now, no way, as long as it doesn't give up and start leaking or something. But I think it'll hold now. I did the same thing to the other section, the loop pipe. But the other problem I'm having today on this thing is that it was a bitch to get this pump to pump any water. And the problem is, I'm looking all around the system and I don't see any air vents. So every time it's open to the air is pumping in with the water and getting trapped in the system. And I'm like shutting off, deadheading the pump over there every time I start it to get it to kind of start pumping a little bit. I only had like 5 psi last time I looked. So you got about 15. Yeah, about 21. It's got 6 psi differential. That ain't shite. That ain't shite. I was getting about 10 before. I think, I could put my ear to this pipe. Doesn't sound as bad as it did earlier. I think it's been mixing up the air. It's probably circulating in the system and can't ever get out. You can see people made repairs with this PVC, with all the old decrepit steel pipe. Well, it looks like the easiest thing for me to do. And again, he keeps saying he's only going to use this chiller for a couple more months, but the guy that's been installing that erector setup there, I guess hasn't been coming back. He's been ignoring it. I just found out. So this pipe right here, going up and over and back to that connection on the chilled water, that's one of the highest points, and that's somebody converted it to PVC right there. So he wants me to use a saddle tap, I guess, like you do on cooling towers. So I guess I could do that. So I'm probably going to come back with a saddle tab up there that'll have a threaded female pipe adapter on top, and just put a section of pipe. I want to put a T in a vent so I can open it to manually remove air, and then I put an auto vent on top of it. And just hopefully as the air circulates in the water, it'll keep rising and auto venting, what do you want to call it. So yeah, this thing's just a real turd. It runs though, it's 49 degrees. Dude, it's beyond a mess, dude. Only one compressor's up and running either. Out of refrigerant, bad compressor, that one runs. But they've taken a lot of fan coils off of the suites because they've already put in like 6 of those. Looks like more than 6, looks like more like 8 or 10. So those all represent units that used to be water cooled that aren't anymore. So taking off the load of this, so it's able to keep up with less compressors. So all of this is going to be eventually gutted out of here. But I was just telling them today, we should continue that steel across the top when they remove the tower, because by code you should have a 30-inch platform all the way around, and technically all those disconnects, or not disconnects, but the electrical access compartment should be 30 inches from any obstruction. He kind of was shocked. And I said, yeah, this is Phoenix, where nobody enforces codes anymore, so we're correct. But you were in another state where they did, you would get away with that. A lot of the stuff you would be seeing and having to deal with. Arizona's like such high demand for cooling and things like that, but yet it's the most hacked in the nation, I think. Especially once you get into Scottsdale. Scottsdale's where all the flunkies couldn't hack it in Chicago or California, whatever, to come to Scottsdale where they can roam free with their hacked and bad engineering bad architecture, bad building, whatever their phase of construction they're in. They suck, and they can just roam free and whatever, get away with it around here. So anyway, yeah, what's Louisiana's this bad? Oh man, it's horrible. I was in that. Remember, you guys? If you guys watched my live stream last night, I went over to my buddy Rob's house, and what'd you see up in the attic? No catwalk at all in front of the air handler. And that's a tract home, which means somebody designed every house with that floor plan just like that, and they probably have no catwalks in any of them, and yet passed inspection. 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago, just fine. So. Anyway, hey, old man's probably going to be coming back up here in a second. I got to get him to sign some papers and